Oh, and welcome to another Tech Articles. I've seen a couple of questions on the Surecrafted Facebook group the last few weeks about URL parameters, and particularly with regards to two types of parameters that currently aren't supported, but I can see the genuine use for them. So I wrote them down and had a look. Um, when I had the time to have a look. And I've created a little toolkit to do these two items. I'm calling it URL Parameter ToolKit for SureCart. Currently only does two things. The two things I've directly seen with regards to URL parameters. And I've made it so it's a little bit upgradable if I decide to add additional items to it. So the two questions I had were, or I saw, were A, allowing the users to add a custom price to a name your price item to set the price value. So let's say you put a parameter of price and 2.99 in, it would set your price. So originally I wrote an idea when this all started, and it did exactly that. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, somebody could just change that price. So then I locked the field, and then I thought, actually, if we're honest, just putting a parameter of price and entering it is a little risky. So I then thought, how do I go around this? And I decided matched pairs was probably the easiest way of doing it, i.e., they're only known to you. So I've created a little REST API where you can put your match pair to find the price. So in this example here, we'll run through an example in a second, and we will set a price of, why not, 2.99. So I'm going to head over to our site, and I'm going to navigate to settings and URL parameters, and we're going to stick on this first page first. So I'm going to leave it as a default price token for now, but you can set that yourself. If your WordPress installation is in a directory, you can set that subdirectory here. It's important because it needs to know where the REST API is. So I'm going to leave it as price token, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to add that to our name.price as the URL parameter. So price token equals, and then I'm going to go back to our match pairs, and I'm going to generate a random 10 character token. It doesn't have to be 10 characters. If I wanted to get Bitwarden to generate me a token, I could do just that. So if I go up to my Bitwarden, and I've got a token generator here, so I'm going to just get it to generate me a few. I'll pick this one at random, and I'll take our token out here, and I will change that for our 2.99. So add pricing pair, and we now have our token. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to head over to our product. So price token hasn't been changed. So if I add that in as a token, that populates it with 2.99. There is no way for the user to know what that token means. It's locked at 2.99. Now, obviously, there are still ways to do it, but at least it's not as easy as just putting 1.99 in there. So that is what was asked of me, or was asked, and I've made that into here. Obviously, the price token is probably a bit on the nose in terms of what you want. So actually, we can change that. So if I wanted this to be product ID, product ID, I can update those settings, and now product ID becomes our price token. So if I change that to that and do the same again, we get 2.99 in our box. So it's totally updatable, easy to manage. We can add our pairs as we need to here, so they're editable and they're deletable. So, and that's it, and it will stay as product ID rather than price token. So that's it, and that works on a custom REST API point on your back end to connect your pairs, so your token to your price, so you can automatically do that. The other thing asked was whether it was possible on an example here. So this is an example product that I'm using for Ticket Manager Pro. And let's say I wanted to issue this link to somebody where they've got the choice still, but I really want them to buy gold. Now, there is no current way to do this in native SureCart. So what I've done is in our URL parameters, I've now created a new item called pre-selected choice settings, and we can enable this. And I'm just going to take this one here first, actually, and I'm going to disable that. So I'm going to put our great event in here. I'm going to put this as a URL parameter. I'm going to put it equals to gold, and I'm going to push enter, and you'll see nothing happens. If we go back and enable it, and that's our settings, we can put our settings and update our settings. They've been updated. We can go back to our product, and now when I send price choice equals gold, it will select gold on load. Now, one of the issues you have here is you probably don't want it to be price choice. You probably want to call it something else, but you can do that. It's designed to allow you to rename this to whatever you want it to call it. So, for example, option update choice, go to our great event. I'm going to change this one to option equals gold, and I'm going to push enter again, and it goes there. So, but let's say I now want standard ticket. Now, standard ticket is actually the default for this, but if I do this like this, and we have to URL code our items, so tickets, that will now select the standard ticket. And if we wanted VIP, option equals VIP, and there we go. VIP is selected. As well as that, we have our console log. So if we inspect our console log, this is it working as it is. You can see that there's no issue. If you're having issues selecting which price you want, if you go to your to your pre-selected choice settings and allow console logs and update that setting, now what will happen is it will tell you what it's doing. So it knows it needs to look for the choice of VIP. It found a match for the VIP, and it has said it has successfully selected the VIP. So this will allow you, if you're using URLs with a space in them, like my standard ticket, it would allow you to begin to fault find if something isn't working as you expect it to. So that's how that works there. So if we go back to my SureCart products here, and we look at this one here, which is for another one of my plugins, buy a post, and let's say that we want to do this one here, which is an absolutely massive URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to our great event. I'm going to select my options, and I'm going to do this totally blind. So option equals subscribe, and we need to URL encode space to, and again this, and again post. Subscribe to this post. Looks like it's actually the default. So buy 20 this, take 20 post, and there we go. Buy this post is now selected. And when we go generally here, buy this post is our basic one, and it's just as easy as that. It works on all of your products. Once enabled, you will be able to give direct links to an option from a product and have it automatically selected. Now, currently that is all it does. They are the two URL parameters that I've put in. There will probably be more added over time, and yeah, hopefully this video explains how to use URL parameters, and I will put a link below to get it. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.